Hey, this is your girl Miss Bowlega Mom, aka Angel Barbie 1981, and I'm doing a video response to Much Love from KY. She did a video response to a video that she seen on WORLDSTARHIPHOP where these children were actually having a booty popping contest. I mean, when I say when I say that those kids got low, they got low. And you know, I just kind of felt like that was too much for, you know, a child to be doing. I feel like, you know, if you get 18 or 19 and you discover those moves and you do them, okay, that's different. But you have these 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, you know, dropping it low and popping it better than a grown woman. That's a problem. And, you know, I look at it like this. We shouldn't, I feel like, even though I'm not a mother, I've never birthed a child, I've never adopted a child, kept a child like that or anything, but I really do believe that we as mothers need to keep our children in a child's place. You know, they shouldn't be out here doing the same thing grown folks are doing. And, you know, we have to watch what we do around kids because they literally pick up everything that we do. That's the truth. It is the absolute truth. And, you know, what really disturbed me was, I don't know, was it like a get-together or a picnic? I don't know what it is, but it had adults and children mixed. And it started off with a woman bending over, doing all this other stuff, and then the kids started following her, okay? And another thing that got to me was the DJ actually had a contest with these little girls to see who could really, I guess, booty pop the best or twerk or whatever it is. And, but you know, my whole thing with that is like, you know, what's wrong with some of these new mothers that are out here? I want to know. And, you know, and I told myself, I said, you know, I don't want to have kids until I know that I could be the best parent that I can be. And I don't really think I'm going to be a bad parent or anything like that. But I'm just watching and observing and taking notes and doing all this other stuff. So whenever I have my kids, you know, I won't be doing stupid stuff like you see in this video, you know, which I don't think it'll ever be that extreme. But anyway, basically the kids had like a booty popping contest, and I was floored at how these little children can get down. And the DJ's encouraging it, and he's like, oh, some of you old people can't get down like that. First and foremost, listen. As a DJ, I would have been like, no children allowed. None. You know, if they're going to dance over there, and they're going to be kids, and they're going to stay in a child's place, you know. And hopefully the adults will have enough common sense so, yeah, you can dance and do all this other stuff, but watch what you're doing because there are kids here. To the mothers, how could you put your child on display like that? Do you know that even though it's 2012, we are living in a sick, sad world? We are living in a sad world, a sick world, where a child can't even be a child, or your parents have to really watch their kids because, like for instance, we had someone on the news where this man sat up here and groped this little girl while her and her mama were at the grocery store. And she was just inches away from her mom. And the mama didn't even see it. It's almost like you have to have your kid chained to you to make sure nothing happens. This is how bad the world has really gotten. These mothers, everybody has cell phones. Even kids have cell phones. So it's not a big thing now to catch a video, put it on the internet, and now it's viral. Everybody from every country can see it. If you have a computer and you can get on YouTube, you can pull these videos up. And now you have perverts come out of the wood where every time you look up in the news, just watch the news. Every time you look up, a child's getting hurt, a child's getting kidnapped, a child's being raped, a child's being molested. It's always some type of sick, sad, torture crap that are happening to children. So why would you put your child on display? You know, people nowadays don't have tattoos on their head that says pedophile. They don't. You know, you just can't necessarily look at someone and say, yeah, they have that Uncle Chester look to them. No, that's not true. You have some of them that look normal. I don't know. I guess with some people, I've noticed that when I've seen pictures of sex offenders, some of them have that look like they're a sex offender. But now, you can't necessarily just look out for a man being some type of weird sex offender. You have to look out for women too. Then you have kids that are molesting other kids. So it's horrible. So my point is, why would you put your kid on display like that? Because it only takes a matter of time where someone can track down the people who uploaded the video, find out what city and state they're from, find out what neighborhood they're in, find out what street they stay on. Now we've got a problem. Okay? Because now you put your child at an even greater risk to be kidnapped, to be hurt, just be hurt and all this other stuff. To just be hurt. And, you know, I'm just wondering, like, where did our mothers drop the ball? I remember if my mother, when I was coming up, if I would have tried that, my mama would have snatched me up and she would have put me in my place. I would have been in a child's place. If I want to jump up and down and do all this as a kid, then fine. But when I start putting my back into it and popping it and carrying on, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. We have to watch, you know, we can't let our kids watch a whole lot of BET and MTV and VH1 where this stuff is so cute to us, because it's not cute. You know, our kids need to be kids. They don't need to be popping it and busting it wide open. You 5. You are 5 years old and you are busting it wide open? Really? You know, I just feel like, I don't know when it happened. I don't know, was it the 80s? I don't know if it's the 90s now. But, like I said, somewhere down the line, the ball was dropped. Mamas stopped being mamas. Mamas stopped caring and concerning. Mothers started putting their kids off on grandma while they ran the streets. And trust me, your kids know what you're doing. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. When I was coming up, it's like, well, where's mama going? Now it's like, mama going to the strip club, or mama going to do this, and mama going to do that. And you know, these kids know. You know, with me, when you got older, you found out what was really going on. It's like, oh, really? But now, these kids know. They know. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize for rambling. But this video really did upset me. Because I don't like for kids to be put at risk. It's like, why won't you let these kids be kids? Why are you taking their innocence from them to mock you and to emulate you? And like I said about the mothers, somewhere down the line, you know, these mothers start putting their children off on their grandmothers, and then my grandma ends up being the strict one, and then mom starts to be like a sister who walks around and clubs and parties and all this other stuff, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Now, I can understand you're going to school, you're trying to do better for yourself, and grandma needs to keep the kid for a little while or whatever. I understand that, but not when you dump your grandmother, not your grandmother, I'm sorry, but your mother raised all the kids that she's going to raise. And she shouldn't have to raise your child because you still want to be wild and party and pop your booty, then come home and pass this crap on to your children. That's not right. And I'm not saying that every woman who has a child at this point is unfit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. But somewhere down the line, mama stopped being mama. I just make it cut and dry and stop babbling. Mama stopped being mamas. They really did. They stopped being, because they start trying to be their kid's best friend. And my mother never did that. My mama showed she loved me. She let me have an opinion. But in the same breath, she kept me in a child's place. You know, if I didn't like something, it was okay for me to say I didn't like it, even if it was something I needed, you know. But at the end of the day, my mother, you know, she raised me. She was a real mother. And now it's all about, like, now the new mothers are trying to be the friend. They're trying to be their child's best friend. They're trying to still live this wild life. And it's not going to work because it trickles down to our children. And you end up seeing kids do things like that's in that video of WORLDSTARHIPHOP. And excuse me, I'm under the weather, so. But like I said, I mean, mothers, if you have children out there, be good mamas. You know, learn, ask questions. I don't know, something. You know, I don't want to see any more kids being displayed like that. You know, our parents shouldn't put us on display like that. because they put us in danger. You put kids in danger when you do stuff like that. You know, now what's gonna happen if one of those kids get hurt, and then this World Star Hip Hop clip pops up with this child doing all this booty shaking? Now look at who has to be accountable for this stuff. You know, I'm not trying to see you on the news crying because some pervert saw this video and decided that he wanted to make a move. That's all I'm saying. Is that we have to start being parents. Stop trying. You know, if you're going to do adult things, be smart. Don't do those things around children. That's all I'm saying. So, anyway, this is your girl, Miss Bowling Amon, a.k.a. Angel Warrior 1981. I apologize for being long-winded. I apologize for getting off subject, but sometimes I get really, really excited it happens. So, I guess, comment, rate, subscribe. Bye, angels.